What's up, everybody, and welcome to my Friday Night Smackdown review. Obviously, this is a very different show tonight. This episode of Smackdown tonight was a tribute episode. So basically, anything that was really storyline purpose, especially for like big angles or whatnot, was basically axed tonight. Basically, due to the recent tragedies and under the past 48 hours, between both the passings of Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt. So tonight, WWE will pay tribute to both Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt throughout the entire night. And I got to say, man, it hasn't been a very good 48 hours in the world of professional wrestling. Given that both of these men have passed away literally in under 24 hours of each other is just uh, crazy, to be honest. And I did speak on it yesterday about Bray Wyatt's passing, and I did talk about Terry Funk's, passing also. And WWE did immediately pay tribute. Basically, the entire roster was out there on stage. Triple H, obviously, in the middle, with Eric Rowan being there and Braun Strowman standing side by side. Michael Cole basically addressed the audience, basically talk about what both of these guys did in this business, and that there will be a 10-bell salute. And after they did that 10-bell salute, they had a video package for Bray Wyatt, basically showing all his moments he has done throughout his entire career and whatnot, from when he debuted, going all the way back, basically to NXT, with the Wyatt family, between him, Luke Harper, and Eric Rowan. Like I said, from the whole cult leader thing with these guys to Bray Wyatt, but even his accomplishments of becoming the WWE champion, winning Elimination Chamber, tag team champion with Randy Orton, um, obviously Universal champion with The Fiend, um, tag team champion with Matt Hardy. I'm just gonna go off his title runs here, but from The Fiend all the way basically into his current and last run now. When he came back from back at Extreme Rules of last year in October of 2022, but basically they played most of everything they can throughout the night. Like I said, from the Wyatt family themselves to his feuds from John Cena, Randy Orton, Finn Balor, um, you know, Bliss being part of the whole Firefly Funhouse stuff. Um, and I'm just gonna go with most of I can name feuds with the Undertaker, Strowman, basically his entire career within the company and whatnot. And listen, I've said it before. I wasn't the biggest fan of some of the stuff throughout the years. You know how I feel about the whole Firefly Funhouse thing, and that the match to have in WrestleMania, and even his current run, and how I felt about the whole Lights Out Mountain Dew match back in January with LA Knight and whatnot. My favorite incarnation of him, I like the cult leader thing. It was just, booking had him lose so many times. That's what really messed it up. And there's people I know that like The Fiend. There's people I know that like his current run. And I was giving his current run a good chance. I just kind of was, you know, on and off it and whatnot during that time. But, I just kind of want to say some, kind of like I said yesterday, just, some of his biggest things he had done in the company, and some of my favorite parts of throughout his run too. Okay, but like I said, once they played that video package, you could hear the crowd singing. He's got the whole world in his hands, and they went to that rocking chair and put a spotlight on it. Um, you know, Basically rocking before the screen went black. So, uh, it's been a very rough 48 hours and whatnot, and you know kind of looking at his and Terry Funk's passing, like I'm not trying to compare the two and whatnot, because the thing with Terry Funk is that Terry Funk has had a career that spanned over 5 decades. Okay, that everybody knows, and like I said, the guy is a legend, and basically fought all the way into like his 70s and whatnot. So in a way, we kind of knew about Terry Funk's health. We already know some problems throughout the years. So in a way, some people probably kind of not see it coming, but they saw how his health was. But he had a very long and legendary career. It's just like with Bray Wyatt, it was so sudden, given that the guy's an active competitor. He was still going. We knew he was in the company, and just like I said, at the age of 36, just very young. And I think like the saddest part about all of this is I like his family and everything, because the man has very young kids, like like babies and whatnot. I think that's like one of the saddest things to really think about within his passing. And like I said, I know there's more details coming out about it. We already know apparently it was a heart attack and COVID. I think COVID compilations or whatnot when he did have COVID. So I believe that played a factor into it also. But like I said, you gotta give WWE credit for just doing this whole tribute in general. But as we do move on with the show, though, I know they showed multiple tweets throughout the entire night with Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt. The first match tonight, we did have Grayson Waller versus Rey Mysterio. Obviously, Austin Theory came out watching on. Santos Escobar came out to help. Rey Mysterio hit the 619 and won. So, solid match. Not much to say here. It basically moves on the story. We know Ray's going against Theory at Payback for the United States title. So, we will see what happens. Like I said, I know we have more tributes throughout the entire night. They interviewed Io Shirai as she was getting ready to go against Zelina Vega for the women's title. Bailey basically said, the LWO, they only hire short people and stuff, that Damage Control is taking over. A good match. Io getting a good win right here. Not much of Damage Control really kind of interfering and helping out. Io ended up hitting the moonsault for the win, so she retained her title. Next, Cody Rhodes came out. Cody Rhodes came out to pay tribute to Terry Funk. Basically, what do y'all want to talk about? And he said, what you want to talk about. He talked about him being in the airport with his dad and hearing someone saying, Dusty's egg-sucking dog. And he realized it was Terry Funk. And basically, talking about Terry Funk's career. And, there's a lot of people in WWE that call themselves superstars, but they've, a lot of us been called wrestlers, athletes, competitors, but there's only a few rare that get to call themselves cowboys. And he said that both Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk are cowboys in the best way possible. And basically, he talked about the rub and what lifts them up and whatnot. And that Terry Funk, he's done this for an entire company and everything. And that he's made his mark in wrestling for over 50 years and he's evolved through time. Basically, they had a video package also for Terry Funk. Like I said, basically talking about his entire career. Like I said, his career spans 5 decades. And like I said the other day, I can't name everything. He's obviously was before my time. Like I said, the most I really know of him was, Chainsaw Charlie and, ECW, of him winning ECW title and ECW One Night Stand 2006. So, with him and Dreamer versus Foley and Edge. But like I said, you could talk about, like I said, Terry Funk, how big he was, especially in Japan. Like one of the biggest American stars in Japan. Like dude was super over there. Okay, but you go back to when he tagged with his brother Dory Funk. Like I said, win the ECW title, the NWA title, win the tag titles with Mick Foley, Cactus Jack at WrestleMania 14 and whatnot. And like I said, the man has been in damn near every wrestling company, okay? Like, he has been there every single one. WWE, ECW, WCW, TNA, Ring of Honor, Japan, All Japan or New Japan, just multiple companies that I like I said, like NWA, I can't even name them all, but like he's damn near been in almost every major company and a guy that wrestled damn near all the way into his 70s and whatnot. And just the multiple kind of feuds he has had and matches, exploding rings or branding irons or just empty arena matches and going against people from a Jerry Lawler to a Ric Flair to an Onita to a Mick Foley to a CM Punk to Dusty Rhodes to I'm trying to name as much as I can, but like the man has had just a crazy amount of big opponents throughout the years and stuff. Like I said, I'd say one like winning ECW titles like one of the biggest things you could ever see. But he has faced, like I said, like damn near all the biggest names in wrestling throughout the years. Some matches I didn't even know about. I had to look up, like, hey man, I never know if he went against Hulk Hogan, or at least one time he was in the ring with Stone Cold. Even though it wasn't really a feud or anything, but it was kind of like a one time thing and whatnot. Like, look it up, folks. But like I said, like Terry Funk, man, he's one of those guys that, like, this was just one crazy tough old son of a bitch. All right, that you just don't want to mess with. But I'm sure, like I say, injuries really piled on throughout the entire years and whatnot. And we already know what happened in the end and everything. But Terry Funk has had one hell of a run, like, just crazy. A man that, come on, reinvented himself even in his 50s, like reinvented himself, that people like still care. And after the video package, Cody Rhodes had went on to saying that Terry Funk was hardcore before it was cool, and like next was gonna be a tribute match, the Terry Funk hardcore match, as it was the Street Profits versus the Brawling Brutes. Now, as the match itself, I wouldn't really call it a hardcore match. Like, yeah, there was a table involved, and it was a solid match and everything. And, Lashley came out and hitting the spear on Holland, and they put him through the table for the win. But can I say this was a hardcore like match? Not really. It wasn't really a hardcore match. Okay, it was a regular match. If this was a hardcore brawl, we would have seen like weapons everywhere, people bleeding like they were going to war. Like, go look at a Terry Funk match, especially in hardcore matches. Like, yeah, they did the whole spinning like ladder thing, except Holland's holding up you know Pete Dunne over his shoulders and spinning around like Terry Funk does with the ladder. But it's like you're not seeing branding irons on fire, or just like barbed wire and crazy amounts of blood or exploding rings. Like this, it wasn't really a hardcore match. Okay, I get what they were trying to do. It was a tribute match and stuff, but it wasn't really a hardcore match. Let's be honest with ourselves here. Like, I appreciate the effort, but it wasn't a hardcore match. But basically, this is both supposed to move Lashley and the Street Profits going somewhere big. So we'll see what happens there. LA Knight came out then. Basically said he's going to get to the Miz in a second, but he wanted to talk about Bray Wyatt. He talked about he was his greatest foe. Basically the last person to face him, honestly, his last opponent and feud. But, he said, like, he's one of my greatest helpers, and he helped me prepare for anything, okay? And he can feel the spirit. He can feel all the fireflies in the building and whatnot. So he said, yeah, we weren't best friends or anything, but he just wanted to say, thank you, Bray, before he went back on to the Miz, talking about Miz. No one's ever cared about you. Your sidekick used to be more over than you. And, yeah, you won the title like 10, 12 years ago and whatnot, but you want to talk about John Cena, Rock, that's all your thing and whatnot, and basically say, like, next time you see me, run and whatnot, and stuff. So basically, right after that, good tribute by LA Knight. The main event was Finn Balor versus LA Knight. I know someone's gonna say, yeah, Finn Balor took the loss here clean, but this is basically, I guess this was Bray Wyatt's greatest opponent. If I really remember out of Finn, like, yeah, I know when the Fiend kind of came into play, he did beat Finn really fast, and they have had matches together before. I'm glad they never had the Demon versus whatever him dressed as Sister Abigail was going to be. I think I talked about that in the past, but they had faced each other several times before. I don't know if it was for the title or whatnot, and we already know about LA Knight and stuff. So obviously, like I said, this was mostly just a tribute match. So yeah, Finn took the L here and stuff, but it is what it is tonight. LA Knight won, and before the show went off the air, the lights went out, just like when the Fiend was gonna show, and they showed a foggy lantern in the ring and a photo of Bray Wyatt, basically looking at the big screen with his logo there before the show went off the air. And that's basically how SmackDown ended tonight in this tribute episode to both Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt. So, like I said, man, really rough, sad 48 hours in the world of professional wrestling and whatnot. And WWE did what they could to pay tribute to both of these guys. And I enjoyed it and whatnot. Like I said, from Cody's tribute to Terry, WWE with the multiple video packages of both Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk, and tweets throughout the night, and even playing Bray Wyatt's kind of clips, his history in a way, from all the way to the Wyatt family, to him winning the WWE title, to the Fiend, all the way, to his return and whatnot. Um, they basically played everything they could. So yeah, they basically did everything they could do, and I thought it was very good. So I'm sure it made a lot of people sad out there tonight, and probably shed some tears after watching this episode. But you have to give credit where it is, especially how video packages were, how they got the graphics going here throughout the night. Was really good stuff by WWE, especially in this short amount of time and how sudden it was also. So yeah, they definitely really good stuff tonight. But that's all I really got to say about tonight's episode of SmackDown. What are your memories of both Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk? Like your favorite times throughout their careers and whatnot. Did you like this tribute episode they did on SmackDown tonight? Like like I said, say anything. Like, what do you think? Leave your comments in the comment section. But other than that, though, follow me on Twitter, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Um, you know, more reminders and stuff. Hit that like button. So yeah. And other than that, all you gotta do is look up in the sky and follow the buzzards. Time is on my side. Run.